Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and discovering that everything you consumed yesterday was fake. The video you watched before bed. The song that stayed in your head all day. The news article you shared with your friends. Even the person you argued with on social media. None of it was created by a human being. No writer. No musician. No journalist. No actor. Every word. Every image. Every voice. Every emotion. Generated by a machine. And the most disturbing part? You never noticed.
Right now, somewhere on Earth, an artificial intelligence system is creating the face of a person who has never existed.
Another AI is writing a news story. Another is composing music. Another is generating a video.
And another is cloning a human voice so perfectly that even close family members might struggle to tell the difference.
This sounds like science fiction. But it isn't. It's happening now. For decades, Hollywood and science fiction writers imagined a future where intelligent machines would rise against humanity. People pictured giant robots walking through cities. Autonomous machines taking control. A dramatic battle between humans and technology. But almost nobody predicted the way the real revolution would begin. Not with explosions. Not with armies of robots. Not with machines taking over governments. The revolution began quietly. Through content. The stories we read. The videos we watch. The voices we trust. The images we believe. Artificial intelligence is learning how to create all of them. And it is getting better at an astonishing speed. The question is no longer whether AI can create content. The question is whether we will be able to tell the difference. But to understand how we arrived at this moment, we need to go back. Long before ChatGPT. Long before AI-generated art flooded the internet. Long before most people even knew the term artificial intelligence. The story begins with a question. A simple question, one that changed the course of history. In the 1950s, a British mathematician named Alan Turing asked, "Can machines think?" At the time, the question sounded ridiculous. Computers were enormous. Some filled entire rooms. They were slower and less capable than the smartphone in your pocket today. Most people viewed them as glorified calculators. Nothing more. But Turing saw something others didn't. He believed intelligence might not be magic. It might be a process. A system. And if intelligence was a system, perhaps one day a machine could learn to imitate it. That idea planted a seed. For decades, researchers chased a dream many considered impossible. Progress was slow. Funding disappeared. Experiments failed. Entire projects collapsed. At times, experts openly declared that true artificial intelligence would never exist. Yet behind the scenes, something extraordinary was happening. The internet was growing. Every search query. Every photograph. Every email. Every website. Every social media post. Humanity was unknowingly building the largest library of information in history. And AI was hungry for information. Data became the fuel of a new era. By the early 2000s, researchers realized something important. Instead of programming machines with endless rules, they could teach machines to recognize patterns. Millions of patterns. Billions of patterns. The more data machines consumed, the better they became. They learned to recognize faces. Translate languages. Predict words. Recommend videos. Understand speech. But most people never noticed. Because AI was hidden. Inside search engines. Inside social media platforms. Inside shopping websites. Quietly influencing everyday life without anyone paying attention. Then came the moment that changed everything. November 2022. A company called OpenAI released a chatbot known as ChatGPT. At first, many people dismissed it. Just another technology product, just another Silicon Valley experiment. Then millions tried it.
And suddenly the world realized something had changed.
AI could write essays, explain scientific concepts, generate computer code, create stories, answer complex questions, and hold conversations that felt surprisingly human. For the first time, ordinary people could interact directly with advanced AI. The reaction was explosive. Students used it. Teachers used it. Programmers used it. Entrepreneurs used it.
Within months, artificial intelligence became the center of a global conversation. At the center of that storm was Sam Altman, a relatively soft-spoken entrepreneur leading one of the most influential technology companies on Earth. But OpenAI was only one player in a much larger race. Because deep inside Silicon Valley, something historic was unfolding. A race for the future. Google, Microsoft, Meta, Amazon. The biggest technology companies in the world all understood the same thing. Whoever leads AI may help shape the next generation of the internet itself. And that realization triggered one of the most intense technology competitions in modern history. But while the world was busy talking about chatbots, researchers were quietly teaching AI something even more astonishing. They were teaching it how to create.
Not analyze. Not calculate. Create. At first, the results were crude. Strange images. Distorted faces. Unnatural scenes. But year after year, the systems improved. Then one day, something remarkable happened. A user typed a simple sentence. A futuristic city on Mars. Seconds later, an image appeared. A detailed skyline. Advanced buildings. Alien landscapes. Shadows. Lighting. Atmosphere. It looked as if a professional artist had spent days creating it. Except no artist was involved. Then someone typed. A dragon flying above New York during a thunderstorm. Moments later, that image appeared too. No camera. No photographer. No illustrator. Just words becoming reality. The internet exploded. Millions of people shared AI-generated artwork. Some were amazed. Others were alarmed. Because suddenly, a skill that once required years of practice could be replicated in seconds. And images were only the beginning. Soon, AI learned something even more human. The voice. For thousands of years, the human voice carried identity. Emotion. Trust. Personality. It told us who someone was. Or at least, that's what we believed. Then AI began learning how to speak. Not just words. Emotion. Excitement. Fear. Joy. Sadness. The subtle details that make speech feel alive. And before long, AI systems could generate voices that sounded almost indistinguishable from real people. Then came voice cloning. A technology that changed everything. By analyzing only a small sample of someone's voice, an AI could reproduce it with astonishing accuracy. Suddenly, a chilling question emerged. If a machine can sound exactly like someone you know, how can you be sure who you're really hearing? The implications were enormous. For entertainment. For business. For communication. And for deception. Yet the biggest transformation was still ahead. Video. For years, realistic video production required expensive equipment, professional crews, actors, editors, and countless hours of work. Creating believable footage was one of the most difficult forms of content production. Then AI started learning that too. A simple text prompt could become a moving scene. A written idea could become a cinematic sequence. Entire environments could appear from nothing.
places that never existed,
people who were never born, events that never happened. Yet they looked real. Sometimes frighteningly real. For the first time in human history, reality itself was becoming editable. That got people's attention. Hollywood noticed. Advertising agencies noticed. Media companies noticed. Investors noticed. Governments noticed.
Suddenly, billions of dollars began pouring into AI research.
And as the competition intensified, another name moved into the spotlight. Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA.
While much of the public focused on chatbots and AI images, Huang understood something fundamental. None of these systems could exist without enormous computing power. Every advanced AI system required vast amounts of processing.
And the engines powering that revolution were computer chips.
Specifically, NVIDIA chips.
As AI grew more powerful, demand for those chips exploded. Many analysts began describing them as the oil of the AI era,
the fuel powering an entirely new technological age. And the numbers were staggering.
Companies were spending billions. Data centers were expanding across the globe.
The race was accelerating. But with every breakthrough came a growing sense of unease.
Writers began asking difficult questions. If AI can write books, what happens to writers? Designers wondered. If AI can generate artwork, what happens to artists? Voice actors asked. If AI can perfectly imitate voices, what happens to performers?
For generations, creativity had been considered uniquely human,
a quality machines could never truly possess.
Now that belief was being challenged.
And then came deepfakes, a technology that pushed the debate into entirely new territory.
Imagine watching a video of a world leader making a shocking announcement.
An actor confessing to something they never did. A business executive admitting to a crime. The video looks real. The voice sounds real. The facial expressions seem real. Everything appears authentic. Except none of it happened. The entire scene was generated by AI.
Suddenly, seeing was no longer believing.
Politicians, celebrities, business leaders. No one was immune. Experts began warning about a future where evidence itself could become unreliable.
A future where fake videos might spread faster than the truth. A future where trust becomes one of the most valuable resources on Earth.
And that raises a disturbing question. If reality can be copied, manipulated, and recreated at will, then how do we know what is real? Because the next phase of AI may be even more powerful.
Researchers are no longer building systems that simply create content.
They are building systems that can make decisions, plan actions, complete tasks, and operate with increasing independence. The age of AI content creation was only the beginning. Something much bigger is coming. And that is where the story takes an even more unexpected turn.